We stayed at the James M. Robb Colorado River State Park Island Acre section. That is too long of a name, Colorado. Please shorten it so that we can get it right. Would we visit there again? We're going to give you our review. We're going to cover what it costs us to stay there, where this state park is located, what the campground is like, what kinds of amenities they have, what there is to do at this state park, and what there is to do nearby.
All the inside information that we wish we had.
Hi, we're Christina and Bill.
I'm Christina.
And I'm Bill. And we travel the U.S. visiting state parks in our self-converted transit camper van that we're inside of right now because it's a little too cold out for us.
We have our turtlenecks and our sweatshirts on.
We're currently on a trip from our home base in Cheyenne, Wyoming to Utah to visit Zion National Park. We stayed at this state park on our way through Colorado because it was close to I-70. It's located on the western side of Colorado, kind of in the center near Grand Junction. And it cost us $37.90 to stay there.
That's total?
That's total with taxes for an electric site. Now, that doesn't include the entrance fee, of course. For Colorado, that's an extra $10.
And did you know about it?
I did. We looked on the website. We knew that we had to pay. But we had the annual pass from Colorado for $80, which lets us get into all the state parks for free.
Can you pay online?
No, you cannot. So we could not pay this fee, even if we didn't have the pass and we wanted to pay the $10.
Annoying.
As we were booking the site. Yeah, Colorado's a little annoying that way. Hopefully they fix it so that you can at least pay all the fees at once.
We heard some rumblings that they are changing a lot of things for the better.
So although this state park was $37.90 for one night, there are a lot of amenities at this campground. There's showers, hot showers that we did not use.
They do have hot showers?
Did we use them?
We did not use them. We almost never use other showers.
Great. There's not a lot of activities at this state park.
Yes, there is.
No, there isn't.
There is if you have an open mind.
I suppose if you're very creative. It consists, I would say, of walks, fishing, and possibly using the swim beach if it's open when you're there.
Wildlife viewing.
Never seen any.
Camping.
You can camp. That's true.
And you can get together with your friends and play...
Play games, play cards.
Cornhole. Cards, yep.
Okay. But you can do that pretty much anywhere. This state park doesn't have a lot to do. I stand by my words. There's one walk that's along the river. Granted, it is the Colorado River. You can fish in the little fishing holes. Mm-hmm. And then there is a swim beach, but it was closed when we were there.
Yep.
So we don't know if that's well used or how nice it is when it is open.
So the trail is paved along the Colorado River, and there are interpretive signs.
No, it is not paved.
Okay, it's a nice flat gravel trail.
It is flat.
And they have interpretive signs every now and then. They do need to update those. It was kind of hard to read some of them.
Yeah, they're very faded, and you can tell that not a lot of money is being put into this.
But every time we've been told, and they have a little viewfinder telescope that you can look through to try to see any bighorn sheep.
Those don't exist. And I keep telling her to stop making animals up because we've never seen any of those.
Many people say...
What do you call them again?
Bighorn sheep.
I see. As opposed to regular sheep.
Many people have seen, and the rangers say that they're over there, and the interpretive signs say that they're over there.
Yes,
So
and the
if
ranger
we were
also
to
said
believe-
there's bears, and the trash cans are not bear proof.
He's
so
not believing our neighbors, because our neighbors actually saw 2 years ago when we were there, saw the baby bear that was up in the tree that they had to dart,
sure
and
they
it
did.
fell out of the tree, and they had to relocate it.
It was probably somebody's kid.
So he doesn't believe anyone.
No. Until I see it with my own eyes.
Anyway,
Why would I believe them?
do you believe that there's bald eagles there?
I did see something that looked vaguely like a bald eagle, but it might have been an osprey.
There was a mature bald eagle that you could tell was a bald eagle because of the white head and the white tail. There was also an immature bald eagle that looked like a golden eagle
Or an
because it
osprey.
was spotted, splotched.
And
But
they
I
were-
knew it was an eagle because it didn't fly like an osprey.
But they were all working together to fish,
They were.
which is one of the 3 activities you can do. There is a small jungle gym.
Oh, I thought of another thing. You can stargaze because it is a dark sky park. Am I right?
No, it is not. This park is located right off of I-70. And when I say right off of I-70, I mean 100 yards north
This is
of
true.
the highway. So there is a bit of highway noise and light coming from that. So I wouldn't say this is a dark sky park. And you're kind of in a valley, like the mountain cliffs are coming down like
You're in a
this.
canyon.
The
We're in a
river
canyon.
okay. And then the highway is here, so there's not a lot of space to be able to see up to dark skies.
This is true. Did it say it was a dark sky
No,
park?
it didn't.
Okay. Well, anyway, you can still see the stars.
You can see
stargaze.
stars, I
Yes.
suppose, yeah.
And go back to the highway. So I was surprised that it wasn't as loud as I expected. You can hear highway noise, especially occasionally there's a big truck that puts on their, what they call them, Jake brakes.
Yeah. But it's not really a downhill portion, so there's not a lot of braking going on from the trucks. But you can definitely hear them. It's not that annoying, though. It's for where it is and how close to the highway, it's surprisingly quiet and peaceful.
And there aren't even any spots that are closer to the highway, I wouldn't say. Like there isn't one specific place that you might want to be camping that you want to avoid. Do you think?
Well, I think the loop that we are in, which is the A loop, is the furthest from the highway.
Because it's closest to the river.
Yeah, I think if you look on the map, like D loop is close to the highway.
We were in a loop a couple of years ago that we were closer to that little gravel trail around the pond with the trees. There's more trees over there. That's
Yeah.
closer to the highway.
Yeah, I suppose.
But I don't remember the noise being extra loud over there either. Don't forget about the playground.
Oh, that's right. I did mention it, but you cut me off. There is a small jungle gym playground.
I would call it
I don't know what I'd
more
call it.
than a jungle gym. I would call it a playground. It was pretty
Okay.
big.
And it's newer, so it looks like they did spend the money on the playground for the kids. And I don't know that this would keep your kids occupied for a whole week.
But there's lots of space in between sites, lots of grassy, flat area that you can
Right.
play, probably put up a volleyball net.
Right, there's
badminton,
definitely places for the kids to run around,
bike on the road.
bike on the roads, play some games if you bring your own stuff. But you probably, if you're going to stay here for a week, you probably want to bring some stuff for your kids to do.
We'll also note when the swim beaches open. It's from May to September. I don't remember the exact date, but
Yeah,
we've never been there when the swim beach was open.
No, there's always a sign that it's closed. So I don't know that it ever opens, but it probably does.
We're
I'm probably
probably
being
just-
too harsh because we were there in October.
Right, and we're just usually traveling through, not in the summer.
Right. Now, as far as the campground goes, it was pretty good, I think. The sites were level. There are lots of big open spaces. So I would say this campground is pretty big rig friendly. We've seen lots of large
Definitely.
Class A's, lots of large fifth wheel trailers coming in here and going out of here. They have pull-through sites as well as back-in sites. They have the loop that we were at was electric hookups only, but they do have full hookup loops as well.
I also really, really loved the shelters over the picnic tables.
Right.
Probably for wind, but also for heat. Although maybe the metal heats up in the summer.
That's a good sunblock and a wind block. I
Yeah.
would say that's about it.
It was nice.
In the campground, there's a number of different site types. Like I said, there's electric only, there's full hookups, and then there's also a section for tent only. And they really mean tent only in Colorado. So don't book that site even if you have a camper van like we do, or else they won't let you stay in it. You cannot sleep in your vehicle in a tent only site.
That's another reason why we are hoping that we can be helpful to lots of other people with state park reviews. Because the state parks are so different from each other, sometimes you can book that walk-in site and you can park there in an RV or in your truck trailer or your truck camper and actually camp there. But in Colorado, in all of their state parks,
All the ones that I can think of, yeah. Unlike Texas, where when you go to book the site, you only have the choice of a tent in the drop-down menu. And that's just error on their part, and that's all you can pick. So Colorado, they really mean tent only. Connectivity is really important for us when we travel. We like to have internet connections so that we can do YouTube videos, that we can check our emails, so we can keep up with our kids. This campground had great cell service and great Starlink service. So there are some trees in the campground. There are not a lot of them, as a lot of the states out west are pretty dry and deserty or high plains, so there's not a lot of trees. Starlink worked great for us. We have the Gen 3 big one permanently mounted flat to our roof.
just recently.
Yeah.
And we love it.
Yeah, it's been great for us. That worked great, and we
Even
also
in the
had cell
canyon.
service.
So we're in the canyon, and it's a pretty narrow canyon, and it worked great there.
Right. You're pretty close to Grand Junction, so the connectivity is pretty good. The campground has pretty good amenities. They have one shower house in the middle of the campgrounds, in the middle of the loops, that has free showers that are hot. You push the button. It looks like they were paid at one point, so they kind of have the machine still there, but there's a big sign on it that says push the button.
Which, in Colorado, they had some pay showers at some state parks, and some were free.
No, I think they're all free showers now.
Yeah, but
In
did
Colorado.
they all used to be pay?
I think they all used to be pay, and they changed their minds, and now they're all free.
So you just push the button.
Yeah, and I think it lasts for 4 minutes or so. It's not one of those where you have to really keep pushing the button every 10 seconds or something like that.
Those are not fun.
No. This shower house also had flush toilets, which we appreciate. It had washer and dryer if you want to do your laundry, which is kind of unusual.
And only $2.50 a load.
Plus $2 to dry. So $4.50 total
Yeah.
to wash and dry.
Which I think is about average as you go across the country at a laundromat.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, they're normal size washers, I guess, is the downside
Yeah.
for that. They also had a dump station. They had water spigots scattered throughout the sites. They had, what else? They had some pit toilets scattered through the loops if you don't want to make the walk all the way to the flush toilets. And of course, they had dumpsters for trash.
Did they have bear-proof dumpsters?
They did not. They looked like it, but they had some trash cans that bears definitely could get in.
That's a big thing for us as we go to visit state parks, is to see what the dumpsters look like. If they are bear-proof, then you're more likely to see a bear there. If they don't have bear-proof ones, then we realize there are no bears here.
Right, because our running joke is when we check in, the camp host checking you in always says that there was just a bear here last week or last night, or so make sure you put your food away.
And maybe there was, but we suspect that maybe they're just saying that so people will put their food away.
Right. That's our suspicion. And we're pretty good since we mostly camp in Colorado, Wyoming, Montana, and we're used to bears. We know how to bear-proof our site and keep our food inside.
Also, putting your food away helps stop trash from blowing away.
Yeah, and there's a lot of critters besides bears that it's going to attract. It's going to attract mice, chipmunks, squirrels, raccoons. All of those should not be fed by humans and should be left wild. And if they get too used to people, they're too used to getting food at the campsites, that's not good for them or us.
Nearby.
Okay. This state park is pretty nearby Grand Junction. I think it's only 30 minutes away, if I remember correctly. Grand Junction is a pretty large city for Colorado. It's going to have a hospital and a Home Depot and a Walmart and things like that.
Places to eat.
Yeah, fast food and real restaurants. It's going to have supermarkets, gas stations, that kind of stuff. Also nearby is Grand Mesa,
Mm-hmm.
which is, I believe, the largest flat top mountain in the world.
Beautiful.
Kind of looks like a mesa. I don't
Do
know
you know what
why
a
they
mesa
call it a
looks like?
flat top mountain.
Well, just trying to explain what a mesa is. Maybe.
Yeah, I guess, but they don't call it a, well, I guess they do call it Grand Mesa.
They
I
do.
don't know.
They call
It's
it
very
Grand Mesa.
confusing. But you can drive to the top. There's dispersed camping up there. There's fishing. There's great views of the valleys around. It's worth a stop if you have the time.
Very pretty, but it is open seasonally. So
Right.
check if it's open. Usually it's open, I would say May again to, I think it's November.
Right. It's
But-
because it gets a lot of snow and they don't plow.
But
So-
it will also be closed. The roads will be closed, obviously, if there's a blizzard up there, even though it's beautiful weather down below.
Right.
So check the websites.
Also nearby is Colorado National Monument, which we think is wonderful.
So pretty.
Definitely worth the visit.
So
I think
pretty. Yes.
Yeah.
That drive is gorgeous. Was it a scary drive?
I
Was it a white knuckle drive?
No, but some parts of it I guess could be.
Yeah.
I could see if you're not paying attention, you could go off the road and plunge 1,000 feet.
You
but-
won't let me drive around there because I'm like, ooh, that's pretty.
Yeah.
Ooh. He wants me to watch the road, but I
You
want
definitely
see
need
the
to pay
pretty views.
attention. But it's not that scary.
Very,
And
very,
you're-
very pretty area.
We have the National Parks Annual Pass, so that gets you into that national monument as well. There's also a drive that starts in Fruita, Colorado, which is right outside of Grand Junction, that starts the Dinosaur Diamond, I think they call
Oh,
it,
that's right.
which is a set of highways that connect some various cities in a diamond formation. Fruita, I think, is the bottom point of the diamond, and it takes you up to Dinosaur National Monument, I think is the name of it.
So you're saying that all of these spots within the triangle are places that dinosaurs or dinosaur footprints have been found, those types of things?
Yeah, yeah. We think that every state park should have something very special about it to make it a state park.
He does.
Not quite a national park level, obviously. Those are going to be bigger and grander, but if they take one feature and make a state park around it, I'm very happy. This state park didn't really have that. There was no one feature that said, oh, definitely got to have a state park here. It's a nice state park.
It's
and
along the Colorado River.
and it's in a valley,
It's
gorge,
a canyon.
canyon.
I think it's canyon.
Okay,
Must be.
we'll call it a canyon.
Because the Colorado River dug out the canyon.
Right. Aside from that, nothing really special to me. So, would
Takes
we
a
stay
lot.
there? Will we stay there again? Would we visit?
I would visit again.
I think I would if we were passing through and needed someplace to stay with electricity.
It's a good recoup place for us to get water, especially if we want to
you could
go
do your laundry.
disperse camping or dry camping in the area. It's a good place. It's so pretty. The canyon walls are on either side of you. The river is right there.
Compared to other state parks in the area, though, I don't think this one's that special. It's, like I said, a good state park. It's got some great amenities. It's close to the highway, but
It is expensive.
and expensive. But for my same money, I would probably stay at Rifle Falls State Park. We're a smaller rig, so we can fit in there.
How far away?
That's probably 30 minutes away.
Good point. All right, so that's a good question. I would not stay at Rifle Gap because that's just open, a big reservoir, hardly any trees. I'm a tree person. I like trees. This state park has trees. You could choose to go. D-Loop has more trees.
Yeah, but for my money, like I said, if I was a smaller rig, I would stay at Rifle Falls State Park. If I was a bigger rig, I might stay at Rifle Gap State Park because they're full hookup as well. And it's a much quieter, more peaceful setting.
Okay, and also that state park, gorgeous driveways. I don't know if you call them driveways,
The
pads,
concrete
whatever,
pads.
the concrete pads. Very
All right,
clean.
so
very
would you
tidy.
stay again? You said yes.
I would. I just like to
I say
stay at
no.
I stay at different places. So yes, the waterfall just up the road. Who doesn't love a waterfall? It's a gorgeous waterfall at Rifle Falls State Park. So I probably would choose to stay there instead.
If we're
but-
pushed and we need someplace to stay real quick, we'll pick See, I already forgot the name of the park. James M. Robb, Colorado River State Park, Island Acres section. Not to be confused with the Fruta section.
Can you say that again 10 times fast?
I cannot.
Can I try?
So that's our review of James M. Robb, Colorado River State Park, Island Acres section.
You're doing so well. Good job.
If you have any questions or comments about this state park, leave them below and we'll get back to you. Thanks.